and that means that we have got a trial date, December 2nd, 2025, Greene County, Indiana.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Craig Henry channel. Today, I am on my way to Greene County, Indiana, where I have court for a Class B misdemeanor case. I actually just made a video on that 2 days ago. I believe I dropped a video on that 2 days ago. So yeah, if you want to check that out, go ahead. That was about a motion to dismiss. Today is the final pretrial conference in my Class B misdemeanor case, or at least it's scheduled to be my last pretrial conference. So that would mean that on December 2nd or December 3rd, perhaps even December 5th, I've got a jury trial scheduled, and the judge kind of said that it would go ahead if the parties both decided that it would be going ahead. And, it is what it is. I'm not going to say that I want to go to trial over this. I'd rather I never had been charged with this. That would have been the much easier route to go. But, of course, the government knows that. The government knows that if they didn't falsely charge me with anything they can think up, then I would be a massive problem for them, in the sense that I would go around and record what they do and comment on it. And, of course, they can't have that. Final pretrials aren't really too big of a deal. You go in there, the judge asks if there's anything that you need to get in discovery before, or if you want your final witness list to what day that's going to be put out, or the deadline for that final witness list is going to be put out. So yeah, it's not going to be too big of a deal. I'm not going to say that I need a delay. They are going to ask if I'm good on discovery. I do need some discovery in a different format. I need a USB drive as opposed to a disc, a CD that they gave me. So other than that, I'm good. I just need that USB drive with a phone call and some videos on it, and we will be all good to go for this mock trial that we're set to go for. Now, I say it's a mock trial, and it is. It's a mock trial in the sense that the state tells the jurors that if they find certain things to be true, then they have to convict. Right? And so basically what they're trying to do when they say that is, it doesn't matter how you feel about the charge, it doesn't matter your personal opinions or your morals or ethics. If you find that certain actions were taken or certain words were said, despite ignorance or anything of the perpetrator, you must convict. So, we're going up against it, guys. When we go into this courtroom, we are going up against it. These people are much wealthier. They are much bolder, right? They are willing to use any amount of violence to get what they want. So they're dangerous people. And to not recognize that is to be naive, right? But the thing about men, and this is historically men who, as of nowadays, we've got a lot of women that are taking up this movement, this cause. So, don't think I'm counting you out, but brave people and people that were righteous and people that history have remembered, they have always told truth to power, and look, they were scared when they did it, Everybody's scared telling truth to powerful people. I am. But the fact of the matter is that you can either live in fear your whole life, or you can just kind of do what you want and deal with the consequences of those bullies. And while I'm at it, I try to inform all of you so that if anybody's of a mind to, we could put this shit to a stop here real soon. So with that being said, though, guys, I am driving from far away, so I'm going to get off of here, and I'm going to head to Greene County, and I'll see you guys when I get there.
Hello, we are back. So the video left off in Greene County, Indiana. I said you were going to see me in Greene County, Indiana, and I just got way too anxious and completely forgot about recording that whole day, as a matter of fact. So now it is November 5th. We are well past the pretrial happening, but I'm going to break it down for you what happened. I'm going to tell you right now that a jury trial is scheduled. We have a hard jury trial date. That means it's going forward. The last time we had a hard jury trial date, I was in jail, and it did go forward. But we're going to touch on that a little bit later in the video. First, I want to tell you what happened at the pretrial hearing. This was the final pretrial hearing again. This happened on November 2nd. In the first clip you saw, I had some concern that the state was going to try to ask me ridiculous questions and that I was going to be forced on principle to refuse answering them. Luckily, that didn't happen, right? And so because that did not happen, they did not have to have their egos offended, and they didn't feel the need to retaliate as a result of that. That's a great thing. We always like that. Right? So I'm not in jail. At the pretrial, it was a little bit hectic. I've never actually had a pretrial like this before. In all my other hearings in Greene County, Indiana, it's just me. The courtroom there's nobody else in there. Maybe there's somebody there 15 minutes before or scheduled for 15 minutes after, give or take. But when I am scheduled, say Craig Henry scheduled at 10 o'clock a.m., nobody else is scheduled for 10 o'clock a.m. Maybe someone was scheduled for 9:30 or 10:30, but they're not scheduled for 10. That's me. Today it was a whole bunch of people. There was like tons of people all in this courtroom, tons of lawyers that were having their hearings for people. Their clients weren't even there. It was just a whole bunch of lawyers having hearings for people that weren't there, that were in jail. And so anyways, I'm sitting there, I'm observing all this stuff. Now, for those of you who don't know, I've got a lawyer in Sullivan County, but I'm pro se in Greene County, right? If you're confused as to all the cases I got going on, go back and watch the last video, right? I don't break it down, but I at least put up there what my cases are. So go back there and watch the last video. But I've got a lawyer in Sullivan County. In Greene County, I'm pro se. So I see my lawyer from Sullivan County in the Greene County courtroom. I say, what's going on, man? He says, he's got a client here for all this stuff. And then he goes and he does his hearing. So the judge says to me mid his hearing, I'm not even paying attention to what he's got going on. I'm on my laptop preparing. And the judge says to me, Mr. Henry, we will get you in. Don't worry. It's not happening December, but we will get you in. And I said, well, what's going on? And she says, well, this guy here, this lawyer, he says that he's going to go to jury trial December 2nd. So you're not going. Well, after this happened, it was just chaos. The prosecutors were running all around like chickens with their heads cut off. First, they came to me. The prosecutor came to me, and he offered me a plea deal with regards to this charge in particular. And, I'm not going to go into detail with what was said with the plea deal. We'll just say that I told him that the road was obviously closed for that avenue. We're not going down that avenue in this case. So when that failed, prosecutor left the room and went and kind of regrouped with the rest of his boys. When they came back in, they walk over to the lawyer who's representing the guy that's going to go to trial in front of me, because I was also scheduled for December 2nd. So they go over and they talk to this guy who just also happens to be my lawyer in another case, in another county. And they say, look, man, we've got this plea deal for you. I don't know exactly what was said. I just know that a plea deal was offered, and it was a deal that they couldn't refuse, right? They got the guy's client out of jail as soon as they signed the plea, which was going to be the next day. And they said, now, Mr. Henry, now you're on for jury trial. And I'm just sitting there watching all this stuff go down. It was pretty obvious to me from the spectator's point of view that they want this case to go forward. They really want to put the fast forward on this case. It's funny, I do too. Like I hate this stuff. I don't like open cases. I want to get them done. If that means I have to sit in jail for 3 months, so be it. Right? If that means that I go, I get it taken care of, and I'm a free man, I walk away fine, and I'm able to spend Christmas with my daughter and my son, that's even better, right? That's much better. I'd love that. But ultimately, I want to get this stuff taken care of. This is it's a chain on me. I can't live my life. I'm being held back constantly by these cases. So it's a massive problem for me. So I didn't object to the case going to trial on December 2nd, and that means that we have got a trial date, December 2nd, 2025, Greene County, Indiana. It is Bloomfield, Indiana. That's the city that it's in. And the trial is going to be happening in the Superior Court at 9 o'clock a.m. That will likely, at 9 o'clock, we will likely be doing jury selection. That can take from an hour to 3 hours or so. Yeah, it can take a while. So if you want to come to my jury trial, hey, look, jury selection is not boring. Right? Don't think that it's boring. You can come and watch. I'd actually encourage you to come watch. Everybody, even if you hate me. If you hate me and you think that I'm the worst person in the world, come and watch my demise in court, right? I want to see you there, right? And I want to see you actually witness how the state operates. Because when you don't see it, when you see it from afar, it can all look clean, and then you get up close and personal, and it's the dirtiest, most disgusting system you will ever encounter in your life. So if you hate me, come. If you love me, come. If you don't know me, you don't care about me, you care about freedom, come and watch it. Come watch the jury trial. It will be a fantastic happening. Now, in between now and the jury trial, there are some more things happening. I think that you're going to get some more updates. We have a final motions hearing on November 19th. Right? That will be the final interaction between me and the court before the jury trial. But on the 7th, so here in 2 days, as I'm recording this, on the November 7th, I am scheduled to depose the chief of police from Linton, Indiana, who is the gentleman who made the accusation against me that precipitated this case. I will be deposing him. A lot of people depose with video cameras and stuff. I'm not going to be able to do that because of my financial situation. I had to ask the state to pay for me to depose this guy. And you may say, well, that was nice of them. Well, they brought these charges against me. If they want to say, well, everybody's got a right to defend themselves against them, then they're going to have to provide me an equal playing field. Right? I wouldn't advocate that in a private society. This is the way they've got the system laid out. So if they've got the system laid out for that, I'm going to save myself some money, that I don't even have, and I'm going to ask them to pay for it. So I asked to take depositions at public expense. They will be doing that. It's a very expensive thing. This is all the stuff I'm talking about. It can get very expensive. And if you're not broke enough, if you cannot demonstrate that you're broke enough, they're not going to pay for it. So it can all get very expensive. Despite this, the gas, the time wasted, the opportunity cost, because I can't go out auditing. I cannot go out cop watching. I cannot go out and advocate for freedom, because if I do and I get apprehended by some other police agency, all of the cases that exist for me, a warrant pops up for each one of them. A warrant in Greene County, 2 warrants in Greene County, a warrant in Sullivan, and you're in jail wherever you got arrested. So 4 different jails want a PC, or 4 different cases, 3 different jails want a PC. I'm good. Right? I don't want to do that. So it's a very costly process, right? And of course, felonies pending never do good for your job. So it's I don't even know why I go into that. I think I want to make it very clear to everybody that this is an enormously costly experience for me, that and not just financially, like mentally as well. If you plan to get into freedom fighting, make sure that you are mentally strong. Now, it's hard for me, but I am mentally, I don't know that there's very many people that are tougher than me mentally. That's the one thing I think I can brag about, right? Is that, I've had a lot of stuff done to me, and I've never been broken. So, so if you want to get into this, please make sure that you're strong. Please make sure that you're not going to get into it. And then as soon as the going gets tough, you want to double back and say, oh, well, I should have changed the way I did this, or I should have done this differently. And the whole point of what we're doing is, we're going out and being annoying. We're going out and we're pushing buttons. But the whole point of it is that the people whose buttons we're pushing, they promised us that we'd be allowed to push their buttons, and they wouldn't do anything to us. So, there's some difficulty there with regards to, some people get into it. I've seen it. And I want to clarify what I mean by this. Some people get into this stuff, and the cops will be like, well, we will, if you get found guilty, the government will be like, if you get found guilty of this stuff, we are going to seek the maximum penalty, right? Or you could face X, Y, or Z. But if you sign here and you say what we said you did, if you say that you did what we said you did, then we'll make sure that maybe you only do probation time, or maybe you only do a few days in jail. And if you are going to fold at that point, don't even start. If you are going to affirm what the state is saying about you, don't even start talking out against them, right? They aren't going to affirm what you have to say about them. So if you're going to affirm what they have to say about you, don't even start. Just watch these videos. How about that? You just stick to watching these videos, those free. But for those of you that are fine with it, like, they understand, this is not like, oh, I'd like it to be this way. For some of us, this is you get caught on the side of the road and your whole life is ruined. This is life and death for some people, and they didn't ask for this, right? This is the biggest deal in your life. And if you are willing to live your life and let all these matters just go by the wayside. I'm out. I realized that I said these matters and then never elaborated on it. When I say these matters, I mean a group of people that systematically steal money through what they call taxation, a group of people that systematically kidnap individuals for not doing anything to anybody, and then continuously keep them kidnapped or force them to pay tribute monthly, yearly, on probation, house arrest. I'm talking about them criminalizing things that are not criminal, them decriminalizing activity that is criminal, vis-a-vis theft in taxation, kidnapping in arrest, all of this stuff, right? These are the matters I'm talking about. If these matters don't matter to you, okay, now let's continue. And just say, oh, someone else will deal with that. It won't ever affect me. Then perhaps your kids or your grandkids or you will be dealing with the consequences of letting this group of thugs they claim ownership over us, right? They rule over us, and they say that we have a duty to obey, right? If you're fine with that, I'm sorry for you. I'm not. I won't live like that. But enough of that absolutely pointless rant. Depositions are scheduled for the 7th. I'm not excited about it. I don't like the people I'm going to be deposing. They don't like me, right? I'm pretty annoying, so are they, right? So, but anyways, that's going to be happening. I'll probably give you all a bit of a verbal update after that happens, just to let everybody know how it goes and kind of what happened, the highlights, the lowlights. And, after that, we'll do an update on November 19th. And then after that, December 2nd is the jury trial. So leave a comment in the comment section if I can plan on seeing you at the jury trial. The last jury trial I had, we had, in support for me, about, at the max, we had 9 people there. 9 people were there to support me at one given time during the last jury trial. I'd like to see double that. It's not even a big courtroom, right? But I'd like to see the courtroom filled with people that are freedom fighters. Or, sorry, not even freedom fighters. Let's go freedom lovers. People who love liberty. And I'd like to see the courtroom packed with them. And then maybe at some point we can all go out to lunch. Everybody's going to have to pay for their own food. I don't have money to pay for everybody's food. But after that, we can all go out to lunch, just like we did at the last motions hearing in Greene County. So with that being said, I hope to see you there. And you can definitely count on seeing me after depositions and after the final motions hearing. So we will see you all in the next one.